Welcome to the Math Problem Solving training video. This video will help provide you with an in-depth view of the Math Problem Solving product. You will have an opportunity to view important details and highlights of the student edition as well as the teacher's guide. We are very excited about this product and believe it is a truly effective resource for teaching and learning problem-solving strategies and skills. Math Problem Solving was created and developed as a result of feedback received from educators. Educators felt the biggest pain point in teaching math is teaching word problems and problem solving. Math problem solving is devoted to explicitly teaching the problem solving strategies and skills that students will need to be successful problem solvers via a step-by-step process with plenty of student support. This program is meant to be a supplement to a classroom core or basal math program for grades 3 through 8. What better way to learn about this product than to take a detailed look at the pages in the student edition? Let's take a look. It may be helpful for you to follow along and make notes in your own copy of a math problem-solving book. In this video, I'll review a grade 4 book, but the structure and layout of every grade is the same. Just a note, you'll probably want to go back or pause to read the call-outs, which further highlight important features of the product. As we review the table of contents, you'll notice that the editors of Math Problem Solving kept the Common Core state standards at the forefront. All of the math within the problem-solving books is based on the Common Core strands. Each unit is focused on one math concept that the problem-solving strategy is applied to. You'll find that each problem-solving strategy is taught twice per grade. Every math problem-solving book has 6 units with 4 lessons each. The lessons are 6 pages in length and follow the gradual release of responsibility model, combining teacher-modeled instruction, guided student practice, and finally, independent practice for the student. There are 7 problems in each lesson and 10 problems in each unit. Every grade includes math vocabulary at the end of the book as well. Math problem solving incorporates several 21st century learning initiatives that you'll notice throughout the book. Specifically, it has a unit theme dedicated to STEM. In addition to each unit and lesson, the students receive a problem-solving toolkit that acts as a resource for ongoing, engaging instruction throughout the book. As they work through different problems within the book, students can reference the problem-solving checklist and 2 sets of problem-solving strategy recipe cards. Finally, there are 4 pages of guided step-by-step instruction on how to read word problems for students to follow throughout the book. Now that we've covered the resource enhancements that math problem solving provides, let's dig into the units and lessons. The math problem solving unit introductions will explain the theme of the unit the math students need to know and the strategies they will learn as they go through each lesson. There is even a writing activity included to help engage students in the theme of the unit. In addition, the unit introduction has a page devoted to math language, something students continue to struggle with when solving word problems. Becoming familiar with the math vocabulary on this page will not only develop students' math language, but will also help them to understand what the word problems are asking. Now we're looking at the first 2 pages of a lesson. You'll notice the lesson focus is use logical reasoning, and the students will apply that to place value. This is really important because we don't want the teachers to teach any of the concepts or strategies in isolation. We want students to have real-world examples when they're learning and practicing problems. As you can see here, the math problem-solving lessons are extremely engaging. Along with the teacher-modeled instruction, the students are constantly interacting with the instruction. These first 2 pages of the lesson are the most supported pages for the student, and they are intended to be teacher-directed. The Try It section of the lesson is a page of guided instruction where students still receive quite a bit of instructional support, but the steps are condensed to encourage students to combine their thoughts and process of problem solving. The next 2 pages are the Apply Your Skills section of the lesson. This moves the students to guided practice. Now, the students are asked to apply the steps they just learned to actual problems. However, the students still receive support through hints and metacognitive questions along the way. You'll notice that all of the questions throughout math problem solving are open-ended and short response questions. This really contributes to the model of the Common Core standards. The questions are all higher rigor and students are asked to write about what they're doing throughout the practice in order to emphasize their understanding of the process as they solve each problem. Finally, we come to the On Your Own section of the lesson. This is the independent practice section for students, and no instructional support or hints are given. Again, you'll notice the students are asked to explain and justify their answers along the way to reinforce their learning. Each lesson ends with a create activity where students have to create and solve their own word problem. We know that being able to write about something proves the highest form of comprehension, so if a student can create and solve their own word problem, the teacher will know they comprehend the strategy. The unit review covers what was taught in the 4 prior lessons. The review highlights the specific strategies that were used within the unit. There are 10 problems for the students to answer. For each problem, the student is required to record what problem-solving strategy they used. Some problems even ask the students to explain how they found their answer in order to have the students demonstrate that they understood why they were doing what they were doing. At the end of the review, there is a write about it and a work together activity. These activities promote communication and collaboration among the students, which is another example of the 21st Century Learning Initiative. These activities apply what the students have learned within a project-based setting. At the back of each book, the students have access to math vocabulary and definitions. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade books have vocabulary cards with words, examples, and definitions. The students are encouraged to cut out the vocabulary cards, and the games and activities will help them learn and remember the meaning of the important terms. The 6th, 7th, and 8th grade books have a math glossary with definitions. The Math Problem-Solving Student Edition is packed full of great guidance and instruction. The Teacher's Guide provides even more guidance for the teacher to help her students become effective problem solvers. The Teacher's Guide is very robust, but still simple to use. It includes instructional support for every lesson, as well as a professional development section dedicated to preparing teachers to teach problem solving. The teachers also have access to e-resources online. The e-resources provide interactive whiteboard activities, graphic organizers, and homework worksheets for each lesson, as well as a letter that teachers can send home to the parents for each unit. This gives parents a better idea of what their children are learning. The best part? This letter comes in English and Spanish. Let's take a look at the Teacher's Guide. At the beginning, the teachers are given an overview of the program. This helps them to understand what the program is and how it works. These pages explain the 3 fully integrated components: the student work text, the Teacher's Guide, and the e-resources. All of these components work together to help the teacher teach and the student learn. Ultimately, the goal of math problem solving is to give support for every teacher and success for every student. The Teacher's Guide provides the teachers with an implementation guide and a pacing guide. This includes advice for the teachers about how to prepare for the Common Core state standards, as well as advice on how to incorporate math problem solving into a core basal program, whole class, small group, or even a summer school setting. Once we get into the unit introduction in the Teacher's Guide, the teachers are provided with an overview of the unit. You'll notice that the Common Core standard and strand being addressed in the unit is identified for the teacher. Teachers are alerted to the HOTS, or Higher Order Thinking Skills questions, that will appear throughout the student work text and how each will promote critical thinking. On the adjacent page, the Teacher's Guide has a full page of hints and tips to help the teacher differentiate instruction throughout the classroom for struggling students and students that need an additional challenge. There is also a section focused on ELL students with strategies on how to help those students within the same classroom. Here, we're looking at an actual lesson within the Teacher's Guide. The lesson overview provides details on the skills students need to know for the lesson, the outcome the teacher should see at the end of the lesson, and the math vocabulary being covered within the lesson. There is also a list of the e-resources available for the lesson. Keeping with the gradual release of responsibility model demonstrated in the Student Edition, the Teacher's Guide gives the teacher extra support for the modeled instruction, guided, and independent practice. Since the modeled instruction is such a key piece of the math problem-solving program, the Teacher's Guide provides the teacher with a full section on how to correctly model the instruction. A think aloud is included so the students can hear how a good problem solver would think about how a problem should be broken down. It makes problem solving transparent to the student and gives them a logical example to follow. And, of course, the teacher has access to sample answers to reference when working with the students. Finally, at the end of the unit, the teacher has support for the unit review with additional items like support for the assessment and promoting 21st century skills. The support for the assessment section encourages the teacher to have the students use multiple strategies to solve each problem. The Promoting 21st Century Skills section supports the teacher with the writing and the communication and collaboration project we saw in the student edition. The teacher is even given an opportunity to extend the student learning by incorporating the internet. As mentioned at the beginning, the Teacher's Guide includes an extremely helpful professional development handbook that covers a variety of topics. This handbook was developed to provide support and guidance for the teachers who may not be familiar or comfortable with teaching word problems. There is step-by-step information for reading and understanding word problems, meaningful practice with problem solving, creating a problem-solving environment, and more. This handbook gives teachers all the information and background knowledge they need to become effective problem-solving teachers. Remember, when we surveyed educators, one of their biggest pain points was being able to teach word problems and problem solving. This handbook will definitely help teachers to feel more comfortable in this area. We hope you found this training video to be informative and helpful. We appreciate you taking the time to learn about math problem solving and how it can effectively help students learn problem solving skills and strategies, as well as effectively help teachers teach math problem solving. For more information about this product, visit optionspublishing.com and select your state.